So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another fabulous event here at the Montrella Cowan Show. I am so excited about our guest today. We have a very special guest. His name is Reginald Knighten, and Reginald Knighten is an experienced educator, entrepreneur, and a business consultant with over 22 years of experience. In fact, I learned that my man has been actually doing entrepreneurship for over a quarter of a century. So over 25 years, y'all. So we're going to learn some things today. Now, in addition to his dedication to academic and community development, he has successfully co-owned and operated a thriving food truck. What Les Brown say? You got to be hungry. Well, anyway, he is going to feed our minds and probably get us a little appetite hungry as well today after he shares his business. In 2024, Reginald actually expanded his entrepreneurial vision by founding a company called MEREG Professional Services. And it's a full-service business consulting firm that's committed to guiding clients from concept to execution. So you tuned in right on time. Ladies and gentlemen, drop a yes in the comment section as I welcome aboard here, Mr. Reginald Knighten. Welcome, Reginald.
Hey, thank you, Montrella. How are you today?
I am doing great. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Excited.
Excellent. Yeah, we are excited to get your knowledge, pick your brain, as they say. Wow. So tell me, let's just kick it off. Tell us more about your entrepreneurial journey and what led you there. Like, were you born into a household of entrepreneurs or business owners?
Actually, I wasn't. My father, he worked for CSX Transportation, so we moved around quite a bit. I was originally born in Tampa, then we moved to North Carolina, from there to Kentucky, then to Atlanta. And so I finished high school in Atlanta, and from there, went to college in Tennessee, Tennessee Tech University. Blessed on a football scholarship, believe it or not. Turned out to be a decent player, and then moved back to Atlanta. And when I graduated, my best friend, he graduated from Auburn. We actually decided that we wanted to start a business in 2001. So December 2000, I graduated, and it was called Vision Solutions. And it was a business development. I look at a lot of the things now that we developed, and it's amazing. We write grants, business plans, a lot of the things that everybody's still doing, but we were ahead, creating the PowerPoints, using systematic and referrals and different things. So it was just us two. And what happened, we ran into is we were in over our heads at that age without truly understanding the concept of business. So too many calls, too many clients, got overwhelmed. First time and last time I ever changed my phone number. So that's how entrepreneurship started for me. And so
because it was like you didn't know better, but in the best of ways, because as all business coaches and mentors recommend, any successful and wealthy person, they talk about just getting started. But a lot of people, they get so, stuck in this analysis paralysis, and they never actually go into action. And I love how you and your BFF, best friend for life, for those of you who are, don't know that, just jump right in. And like for a lot of us business owners out there, too many clients, that's a good problem to have. Wow. Tell me, what did you learn from that experience by starting so young? Because how old were you? You were like in your 20s, right?
Yes, I was. So I would say I was 22. 22.
I got a 21 year. Can I send them over to your house?
No, it's crazy. By the age of 30, we both had vision that we would be in Black Enterprise magazine by the age of 30. Well, it didn't happen, but that's okay.
Okay.
So, but that's the vision, and that's the drive that we had, and we put a lot of work into it. And I think one of the biggest learning experiences from that is you need help. Number one.
Okay.
You have to build a solid team. You can't do it by yourself. A lot of people want to jump out and do things individually without learning, without grasping the information they need from other people, and
Yeah.
then getting quality people around you to accomplish the goal. So
Yeah.
I think that's one of the biggest things, and preparation at the same time as well.
Oh man, we're gonna dive in deep in that teaming thing because I know you're a coach and like there's a book, it's who not how, and like it's just so important. And I think a lot of us are like we call ourselves CEOs and business owners and entrepreneurs, but we're really solopreneurs. So we are looking forward for you to share, especially getting the lessons at the age of 22. So you have been doing this thing for a while, and that's just really, really amazing. What's important about the teamwork making the dream work? Why is that so important?
Being on the same page, relying, as, and again, I don't want to use biblical terms, but the Bible says one, but right, but two will put 10,000 into flight. So it tells you right there, if you just follow the word, one, you can do a lot of great things, but two, it multiplied and
Ooh,
multiplied on top of that. So with that being said, now imagine you get five, and then you get 10, and then you get 20, and then you get all on the same page. And now when you spread and everybody sees that vision and they follow that vision and that script, then look how many lives you can touch and what you
yeah.
can accomplish.
Ooh, I like it. And I like your mission from the get. Like to me, it started at 22 and the first time and only time you changed your phone number, but at the same time, you were that quality team member for other companies. Like so you've been of service this entire time. And I think sometimes, what do they say? There's no I in team. And I
Correct.
know you're a coach now. You coach football, but then you also coach track. Now, isn't track isn't it more of an individual thing? Like you're running your own race? Or would you say that even in track as a sport, teamwork is required?
It is the continuity. Again, everybody has to believe in everybody's ability because even though it is an individual sport, the way we practice, the way we stretch together, the things that we do, the team bond, we try to build that aspect where even though you're running individually, you have 55 people in the stands yelling for you,
Ah,
supporting you and believing in you. If you're throwing that shot put, you have another 15 kids or coaches, they're supporting you. So it's still a team concept, even though
yeah.
you're doing a lot of the individual parts by yourself.
Got it. So it's like that teamwork is like that fuel that lights the fire. Yeah, I love that. Yeah.
Definitely.
And so by you coaching and being in sports and having played yourself, even having a scholarship to go to school, congratulations on that, because college is expensive.
Right.
So I know your parents were happy about that. But so like I said, you've got some miles on like having a teamwork and making a teamwork and even growing a team, it sounds like. Yeah.
I do. I do. I started, so I was in banking for a while. And then when I moved to Florida, I wanted to change. And I was like, I want to coach football.
Yeah.
And so the way to coach football is to become a teacher. Well, at the time it was short. They were short for teachers,
Yeah.
and it was easy. We had to take a class as we were teaching. So I came in July, interviewed, got the job. August came. Here you go. Here's your classroom. And
Yeah,
I'm
that was
like,
cool.
what do I supposed to do? And I was in special needs. So it was
Oh,
like, okay, I do not know anything about special needs, and where do I go from here? And so I researched, studied, and I just realized that if you love people and you care for all people, God's gonna guide you, and He did, and that was one of the best experiences of my life. For 14 years, I taught special needs.
wow. I take my hat off to you because I mean, I educate, but they're grown folks. There's no way. And I'm a mama. There's no way. It takes so much patience. It took, like, and when I pledged Delta, like, it takes a certain fabric. Really
Right.
commend you again for your service, not just to the business community, but to our young folks. And you teach high school, right? Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
That sounds
I
good.
do. I do. It's a different generation, but you just need once you learn how to connect and relate, and if you're 100% authentic, they
Yeah.
respect you. And I
Mm,
think that's what gets me through, and I think that's what allows me to continue to want to do that at the same time with the business and the entrepreneurship that I'm working on.
Yeah, that's amazing. So you started at 22 and it was in Florida, you were in banking. So you listen, y'all, he knows about his coins. Okay. Better be listening up and taking notes. But like here, we like to get into the nitty-gritty on the Montrella Cowan Show. So can you share with us like one of the most challenging like adversities that you had to overcome in your entrepreneurial journey?
I would say that during COVID. So before the food truck
Yes.
came, we had a storefront. Okay. And we had opened up in 2019, the actual storefront. So we had a food truck for a year. We was just doing little things. And we decided to get a storefront, which was about 45 to 50 minutes away from home. And so setting up that, establishing everything and getting ready to go, you open up and we're doing pretty well. Barbecue, soul food, collard greens, fish, chicken. I mean, macaroni and cheese, everything homemade. We made our own barbecue sauce, everything. And so,
Doing that, I haven't even had breakfast yet.
so, and we were rolling. We were doing pretty well. But I think the biggest thing. So when COVID came, we thrived through that process. But when that free money started coming out, a lot of people stopped wanting to work. And so the hustle and bustle of trying to drive back and forth, limited employees. I'm still in education full time, and then I'm doing this full time, working 45 to 50 days straight, from food truck to coaching to education. You know, after the fact, when we went back to school, it was a lot. And so, hey, why don't we bring the food trucks home?
Mm.
We purchased one and we said, why don't we bring that other one back home and let's just do food trucks where we have help from family and friends and it's easier and less traffic. And that was one of the biggest challenges, but it was a blessing in disguise.
Wow. So they start getting them PPP loans.
Yep.
And so when you say people stop working, are you saying the people that were working to help run the restaurant, the storefront, or was it more like your customers, or was it a combination?
No, the employees,
Ah,
you know, stimulus checks, the different things. And, you know, if you get unemployed, what, you know, government was just throwing
got
money
it.
left
Yes.
and right. Yeah.
Yeah. I remember them days. We still recovering.
Facts.
Wow. Okay. All right. So tell me, what would you say, especially for our audience who are all bosses, whether they just starting their business or they just trying to expand to seven figures, what would you say got you that helped you to navigate that, to overcome such a challenge in your business? Because you sounds like you pretty much had to shut down in a sense. Like I know COVID shut the world down, but it sounds like it shut the storefront down. You had no people to support. We talked a lot about team, and I know it's a big value for you. So you didn't have, it's like your team diminished. What did it take to get you through that?
Faith and hard work, hard work, research. What can we do to change this and to make this profitable, more efficient, and, you know, better quality overall for us and our customers? And I think we did those things. And so we tried to set up locally. And a lot of there's really a lot of good people in this world. And so tried to set up locally, and they have all these rules. And so they ended up shutting us down. And I went into a panic, like, what are we going to do? And somehow someone said, hey, you ever try to do some events? And so I started researching, and now as people everywhere we go, you do a lot of events. And so I you know, do a lot of counseling and coaching and teaching them how to get in the events and the benefits of it. And once we started events, that really changed the game. Hitting that road, that changed the game. Yeah.
Y'all. So he said, number one is faith. And I know we got some believers here. In fact, I think that's all we had. So you got to keep that, because what did Dr. King say? Faith is taking that first step without seeing the entire stairway. or staircase. So faith. Then he said hard work, because we in like this digital age, especially with AI and everything.
Right.
You're trying to let other people do our thinking. If y'all didn't know, thinking is part of that hard work too. And then I love that last piece, because for me, although you didn't use this specific word, it requires vision. And starting with the question, they say you get better answers when you ask better questions. My man said he didn't sit back and say, "Oh, I can't," in spite of circumstances. He was like, "How can I?" I love that. I absolutely love it.
Thank you. Yeah.
And then very recently, you decided you expanded again. Tell us about MEREG.
So MERGE came from a concept of self-growth and vision that I had for myself. So some of the books that I read, one is Beyond Financial Fitness. Chris Brady and Orrin Woodward, wonderful book. Matter of fact, it actually was the first book that truly changed my life, I want to say 8 years ago. Not real financial difficulties, but I was like, where's my money going? And so when I read that book, it has on the cover, it has a hierarchy and it says you incorporated. So it says first you have to build yourself. And so there's different strategies of how you build yourself. So I developed Me Incorporated. So 15 minutes working out, or let's just say, or 25 minutes Bible study, 15 minutes prayer, 20 minutes studying football on my own, 15 minutes researching business. So by scheduling different things and writing it down and putting it on paper, again, write the vision and make it plain, you start seeing that and you started focusing. So I started focusing on me. I wanted to lose weight. I wanted to visit people more. I wanted to be, that person that I've always been, to connect people together and help people. That's who I am. I love to give. And so from that concept, Me Incorporated started. And then I just threw my name in and I was like, what can I do that I love? And helping people. But I know business and I understand how to structure a business and how to help a business grow, because I've done it through, proven experience. And it all went back to 2002 or 2001 when it first didn't work out. So I still had all that knowledge or whatever the case. So it was me, Reg, and I started talking to a few people about it and the concept, and I wrote the business plan, and it's like, man, that's amazing. And I talked to another person. That's amazing. And so what I did was I went and I first said, let me start building a team. Start from the top. If you look at again, I love sports organizations, they start with the general manager, then they get the head coach, then he gets his assistants, coaches, and then they put the players and the team together that they want. So I started handpicking and asking people based off their skill set and talking to them about the business. And our first meeting, I asked them, I said, what does this name say to you? And my director of client acquisition said, merge. I said, wow, that's what we do. We merge businesses and people together.
Ooh.
And that's how the concept of merge came as far as the name.
Oh, so at that point you had not had the name.
I didn't. It was Me Reg, but we changed it to merge because, again, it started from the vision that I had of me, and then I just expanded it to build a team, and we merged together, and that's where we're at, and I love it.
And so you continue to help businesses.
Correct.
Yeah.
So we have not officially launched, but we still have quite a bit of clients we're already working with.
Love
You're right.
it.
For different avenues before we do our big launch. And it's amazing how, again, the teamwork, everybody has their responsibilities. Everybody does what they're supposed to do. We stay on task. We meet with clients. And our goal is to help them. So, and that's what we're doing.
Oh, bless you.
Yes.
Yeah. And we're going to have his information in the comment section so that y'all can check him out. But it's just amazing. So do you have a particular framework or formula that you use as you're helping businesses, if you don't mind sharing?
We do. So what we call ourselves is we a full service. So we want to be start to finish.
Okay.
So of course, even if you have a business, we still want to come in and help that. So we follow simple principles. The framework is basically, who are you?
Mm,
Identify yourself.
mm,
What are your main goals? And we got all this information. We figure out what exactly they want
mm,
and they're comfortable with. And we take that information and we meet, or one of depending on the section or whatever it is, they take control of that. And then we figure it out. We give them back the information, the feedback, and then we start the process.
mm.
And so it's systematically. I don't want to give too much information of how we
Like
do
it.
it because it's a very unique concept.
Not the steak. He does have food trucks.
Yeah. So I'm trying to kind of, I'm being honest, trying to talk around the concept of it, but at the same time, again, it's just following a basic system of start to finish, building relationships, and I think that's where my teaching comes into play because when you teach, you have to teach, then you have to make sure they understand it, and then you assess it. So when I'm training the employees or we're talking together, I'm teaching. I'm
Yeah.
understanding that everybody's different and we learn different styles. And so then on the other side with the food truck, it's busy and I'm dealing with a lot of clients and different customers. And so that's where the clients, because it's all about service,
Yes.
speed, quality. So I use that to deal with, when we're dealing with our clients or which we want to become friends because we want to understand them. It's
Yeah.
not, okay, just write me a check and I
Yeah.
do this. I want to understand why are
Transaction.
you doing this and where you want to go.
I love that because I do think, especially today, we have a lot of busy work. And I don't think a lot of times take a pause for the cause and say, well, like, what's the purpose of this? So I love that starting with the why, because it's so important that you know where you're going to land. And like,
Right.
and it also helps to cut out, and y'all know as business owners, we got to say no a lot, but it helps you to cut out the noise and the distractions and the things that'll take you really off your path as to your why. So I really do love that. Yeah.
And in the meantime, you build connections and like again, your vision and your faith. It's ironic that I'm gonna give you this three-part connection.
Uh,
So quick, went to homecoming and met some great people. And from there, developed some relationships. And one of them, she's part of my team and she's amazing. And so from that fact, God just was saying, make a call to, because her name's Tiffany, and then there's another Tiffany. So I made a call to a friend and I called her, and she's in Houston. Amazing work. She's done some amazing things for Bill and Melinda Gates. She's with the NFL, with Amazon, or whatever the case. College classmate. And so we were talking, and she was sharing some things with me, and she's like, you know what? I want to help. And it's like how those things happen. And she said, I'll be back. This was like last month, and we'll talk. I'm getting my daughter ready because she's about to attend Howard University. And I said, well, my son goes to Howard University and he's graduate. And she was like, are you serious? So we linked together or whatever. And it's like everything that I'm doing with this and our team is a connection. And that's why we say creating business, or excuse me, connecting business, creating opportunities. I mean, that's what we want to do. Everything's about connection. Yes. So that's our motto, creating, tongue tied, I'm sorry.
No,
Yeah.
you're great. And it's clear to me that you understand the importance of it. And I love how you're drilling that in because, ladies and gentlemen, there's no successful person that has done it alone. You can't do this thing on an island by yourself. Like even Oprah, right? She didn't do it by herself, even though it was the Oprah show and seemed like she was the star, but it was all the guests and all their audiences. And so he's really just highlighting the importance of stop. Like if you are out there and trying to do everything, and some of us, we're such perfectionists. I got that bug a little bit myself. We think we're the only ones that can do it. But I love how you're kind of like able to delegate and trust in people and their skill set because we're not going to have 100% of the skills. Like we're going to be good at what we do. And then there's going to be other people who are good at the other parts that we need. So, wow, merge. I love that.
And what's crazy is I was talking to our team in a meeting probably the week before the CEO experience.
Uh-huh.
And I can't remember the gentleman's name, but at the end, I remember him saying when you guys were on the panel, and by the way, you have a wonderful story, and I appreciate you for sharing that with us. Very inspiring.
Yeah, thank you.
And he said that if I don't know something, I'll get with somebody who does.
Hmm.
And that's the same thing we do. If
Yeah.
I don't know how to do something necessarily, I know somebody who does. I
Yeah.
can link you up with that person,
That's
you
all.
know, and because that's what it's about. It's enough room at the top for all of us.
I love it. I love your abundance mindset. And I know there's a quote that floats around that says, your net worth is your network. And what's powerful about you, and it sounds like a real skill set for you and a real talent, is that you don't just understand the importance of connection, you can be that connecting source. Like, other folks that's like, hey, this person would be good for you, and you're able to merge, no pun intended, those people with those talents. That is awesome. Is there anything else you can think of that you want to share with our audience today before we close out?
I think that so one thing that I learned, and again, it goes back to coaching.
Yes.
There's 5 things. The first thing you have to do, as far as when you build your team, you all have to be on the same page. So before you worry about anything else, you build your initial staff first. You get to know each other. You talk to each other. You work out issues, and because there's going to be a time when it's going to get hectic. And when it does, how are you going to react? So you prepare. Preparation is key. So the first thing I always say is preparation. You must prepare. If you do not prepare, then you don't know what to do when the unexpected happens. The second, discipline. You have to be disciplined. You have to follow. If this is the way that you're structured, there's no shortcuts. There's no easy way out. You must be disciplined. Follow the path that you've created. The third thing is toughness. You have to have mental toughness. Because it gets hard. A lot of people doubt you. They say they're for you, but really they're no. It's hard to see. That's one of the biggest problems to me with humanity. Humanity is we act like we want to see somebody succeed, but in reality, a lot of us don't. So you have to have that toughness to fight through all the adversity. And then after that, you have to have togetherness. You have to be together. You have to stand there in the paint. You have to understand that we have this, we got this together. I can't do it alone. Without you, this amazing team, I can't make this happen. And then the last thing is focus. Focus on the small details, the little details. One little mistake can mess you up, but one thing that you do correct can help you win the game. And I think that's it.
Let me try that. Preparedness, discipline, toughness. I'm from Brooklyn, y'all. That thing is real. After toughness, we got together. I got you. And then focus. There go that system he was holding on tight to. Yes, yes, and yes. Thank you for sharing that. Now, you mentioned the book earlier. Is that the book? What book would you recommend? Because like for our audience, we always reinforce that leaders are readers. What's the one book that you would recommend to our audience, if you could recommend?
I love that book if you're trying to financial, and it's a Christian-based book, and it's really, but I would say Strength Finders. Strength Finders is an amazing book by, I believe, Tom Roth. And what it does, before you actually read the book, you have to take a pre-assessment. And it gives you an assessment, and I think it's like 40-something principles.
Yes, I've taken that assessment before. I didn't realize there was a book.
So then you read the book and you see. And one thing that stuck out to me is they gave me 5 qualities of my strength. They give you the 5, and then you read about them, and so whatever. And so my team, actually, I'm about to purchase it for my leaders, and they're going to read it as well and do the assessment, and then we'll get on the same page with that part. So that's just another step of us building, team building, and understanding each other's qualities completely. And so from that book, once I read it, and I read most of the qualities. The ironic thing I saw was they only gave me 5, but 95% of the book, I actually have those qualities and I actually work on them. And that's when you realize that, hey, I'm I'm not, you know, I'm not necessarily special, but I think I'm a little unique. And I
Yeah,
think
yeah,
that's what helps.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Reginald, this has been amazing. I will check that book out. Like I said, I've done the assessment. I didn't realize there was a book. That makes so much sense. And listen, y'all, these are practical tools that you can use to build your own team. So really, really powerful. You're such an example of one who is expressing God's will for us. Like we have so many talents and gifts that we never open. And here you are, coach, friend, teacher, entrepreneur, cook, like all these things. And you're not like, "Oh, well, if I'm doing this, then you're not separating them. You're bringing them all together. And it's a beautiful thing. So thank you for your expression to the world and being obedient to God's calling.
Yes, ma'am.
It has been fun hanging out with you today.
I,
Y'all
I
put your
appreciate it.
comments in the chat if you appreciated this conversation. And yeah, we'll list your information, your contact information about MEREG in the comments. But thank you, Reginald, for joining us today.
Thank you. And I will say this, and I thank you for having me. It's definitely an honor. And I read your article and about yesterday about using your voice.
Yes.
And I'm glad that I'm able to use my voice. And I'm glad to have amazing people like you to help guide us and lead us. I will say the website is being revamped. We have one up. So right now it's under construction. It should be ready to go again next week. So it was just some
Awesome.
things that we needed. So if they do try to go on the website, it's going to say under construction or whatever the case.
We know it's dead, it's coming. All right. Thank
Yeah.
you, Reginald. Have a blessed one. Continue to do good
Thank
work.
you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.